What if I told you that one of the most important tests in modern medicine doesn't involve any high-tech machines? Seriously, no fancy scans, no complex procedures, just a person, a hallway, and 6 minutes. Today, we're going to explain the incredible science behind a simple walk. Okay, let's start with a really big challenge that doctors face every single day. When a patient is fighting something serious, like a heart or lung condition, how do you really know if a treatment is working? How do you measure getting better in a way that's objective, that's reliable, and that's consistent for every single person? I mean, of course, you have to ask a patient how they're feeling. But saying, I feel a little better is, well, it's subjective, right? Our own perception can be a little unreliable. We might feel great one day and not so great the next. To get the real picture, you need cold, hard data, a number that isn't just a feeling, but actual performance. And this need for objective data brings us to this, just elegantly simple solution. It's a test that's been around since the 1960s, and it's been fine-tuned over the years into this incredibly powerful tool for everything from COPD and heart failure to checking on recovery after major surgery. So what is it? Well, at its core, the 6-minute walk test, or 6MWT for short, is exactly what it sounds like. It measures the total distance a patient can walk in 6 minutes. But don't let that simplicity fool you. There is a remarkable amount of information hiding in that number. Because, see, during that 6-minute walk, it's not just your legs being tested. Oh no, it's your heart, your lungs, your circulation, your muscles, your body's entire engine is being put to work. This test gives us a snapshot of how well all those complex systems work together when you're doing a simple everyday activity. And this is a really crucial point. The 6-minute walk test isn't meant to push you to your absolute limit, like a treadmill stress test where you're running till you drop. Nope. It's designed to measure your sub-maximal capacity, which is really just a fancy way of saying it measures your ability to do everyday things. It's about having the energy to go grocery shopping or walk your dog. It's self-paced, just like life. So, if it's that simple, what's the big deal? Well, let's get into the rules, because this is where a simple walk becomes a highly controlled scientific procedure. The whole value of this test depends on it being done the exact same way every single time. And the protocol is incredibly strict for a very good reason. The patient has to rest for a full 10 minutes before they even start. The walking course is measured to be exactly 30 meters long. And as you're about to see, every single detail, from the exact words the technician uses to the timing of their encouragement, is standardized to make the results accurate and, most importantly, repeatable. Let's actually listen in on the instructions a patient hears. The key phrase here is walk as far as possible. It sets a really clear goal, but it also gives them permission to slow down or even stop if they need to. The clock keeps ticking, but the test really adapts to what that person is capable of on that specific day. Now, get this. This is my favorite part. Even the encouragement is standardized. A technician can't just cheer you on however they want. They have to use these exact phrases at precise 1-minute intervals. And why? Because studies actually proved that a little encouragement makes people walk farther. So to keep the test fair, the encouragement itself had to become a controlled part of the experiment. How cool is that? So you might be sitting there wondering, why on earth are there so many rules for something so simple? Well, this next part perfectly explains why. The test is only valuable if you can control for all the outside stuff. It turns out a ton of different things can affect how far a person walks. Some are pretty obvious, right? Like your age or if you have an underlying disease. But some are way less obvious. Taller people just naturally walk further. And just having done the test before can improve your score. All these little variables have to be accounted for. And that is why the rules can't be broken. By standardizing everything, the hallway, the instructions, even the encouragement, we can isolate the one thing that truly matters. It makes sure that when a patient's walking distance changes, it's because their health has actually changed, not because the test was just done a little differently that day. So, after all that careful procedure, what do the final numbers actually tell us? This is where a simple walk transforms into an incredibly powerful piece of medical data. Because here's the secret. The real magic of this test isn't in a single result from one day. It's in the change over time. By comparing the distance before and after a treatment, like a new medication or a surgery, doctors can see a really clear story of whether things are getting better or worse. So, how much of a change actually matters? Is it 10 meters, 20? Well, for patients with severe lung disease, one really important study identified this number, 54 meters. This is what doctors call a clinically significant change. And that's so important because it's not just a blip on a chart. It represents a real, tangible improvement that a patient can actually feel in their quality of life. We're talking the difference between struggling to get the mail and being able to walk around a grocery store. It's huge. And you can literally see the impact right here. Check out how the test measures different treatments. Lung surgery, it gets patients right to that 55-meter mark, a clinically significant improvement. A common heart failure drug adds over 60 meters. But then look at cardiac rehab. Whoa, a massive 170-meter improvement on average. You can see, plain as day, how much each treatment helps. So, to wrap it all up, the 6-minute walk test is just this beautiful piece of elegant science. It takes an activity we all do every day and, with some really strict rules, turns it into powerful, objective data. And its biggest strength is measuring change, showing doctors not just if a treatment is working, but by how much, in a way that truly matters in a patient's life. It really leaves you with a final thought, doesn't it? In a world filled with high-tech scans and complicated lab tests, sometimes the most insightful tools are the ones that measure something so fundamental to just being human. It just goes to show you there is an incredible amount of science and a whole lot of meaning in a simple walk.